Once upon a time, in a small village nestled by a winding river, there lived an old man named Eshan. He was very old, with silver hair and a face etched with deep wrinkles, but his eyes sparkled with warmth and wisdom. Everyone in the village admired Eshan because he was always calm, even when times were tough. He lived alone in a modest hut beside a towering oak tree. Having lost his wife many years ago and with no children, Eshan never grumbled about his solitude. Instead, he would sit under the oak, share stories with passers-by, and always greet them with a gentle nod. In the village, life was challenging. Some men were fishermen, others were blacksmiths, and a few sold goods in the bustling market. Often, the river yielded few fish, or storms damaged the boats. Illness sometimes kept men from work, and many villagers carried heavy hearts, weighed down by worry. One day, a young man named Arjun approached Eshan, his face clouded with despair. "Eshan, I'm lost," he said, his voice trembling. "My brother went to the city to find work, but he hasn't sent word or money. My family is struggling, and I fear the worst." Eshan looked at Arjun and gestured to the ground beside him. "Sit, my boy," he said calmly. "Tell me, what do you think will happen?" Arjun sat, his shoulders slumped. "I don't know. What if my brother's hurt? What if he's abandoned us? I can't stop thinking about everything going wrong." Eshan shook his head slowly. "When we dwell on dark thoughts, our burdens grow heavier. But when we focus on hope, our hearts lift, and sometimes, good follows." Arjun frowned. "How can I think hopeful thoughts when everything feels hopeless?" Eshan's eyes twinkled. "Let me share a story." Arjun leaned in, curious. "Once," Eshan began, "there was a young fisherman who had nothing, no catch, no coin, no kin. He sat by the riverbank, weeping. An old traveler saw him and asked, 'Why do you weep?' The fisherman replied, 'I have nothing. How can I find joy?' The traveler sat beside him and said, 'Look around. You have the river's song, the shade of trees, the warmth of the sun. If you focus only on what's missing, your heart will stay heavy. But if you see what's here, you'll find strength.' The fisherman listened. Day by day, he noticed the beauty around him. He began to mend his nets with care, and soon, his catches grew plentiful. His life didn't change by chance, it changed because he shifted his thoughts." Eshan looked at Arjun. "You see, my boy, the fisherman's life turned because he chose to see hope. Positive thoughts don't erase problems, but they give you the strength to face them." Arjun furrowed his brow. "Can thinking really change my life?" Eshan nodded. "Yes. Each morning, tell yourself, 'Today, I'll find a way.' You'll work harder, care for your family, and wait for your brother with hope. But if you let fear rule your mind, you'll feel weaker." Arjun took a deep breath. "I'll try. I'll think hopeful thoughts." "That's the first step," Eshan said, his voice steady. Arjun left Eshan's hut feeling lighter. Each morning, he woke and whispered, "Today, I'll find a way." He tended to his family, repaired his fishing nets, and held on to hope. Weeks later, a letter arrived from his brother. He'd secured a job in the city and sent money home. Overjoyed, Arjun rushed to Eshan's hut to share the news. Eshan smiled knowingly. "You see, when we hold hope in our hearts, we open the door to better days. Challenges will come, but a hopeful mind can overcome them." Word of Eshan's wisdom spread. Villagers flocked to him, sharing their troubles. To each, he offered the same advice: think hopeful thoughts, and strength will follow. The village began to change, men worked with renewed purpose, and the air felt lighter. Eshan's simple words had taught them the power of a hopeful mind, proving that even in hardship, a shift in thought could light the way forward.